In this video, I'm going to explain the concept of LLC insurance. What is that? You might not have heard of that before. And before you assume, no, I'm not talking about general liability insurance or similar types of insurance that an insurance agent might sell you. I'm talking about or introducing you to the idea that an LLC can serve as sort of an insurance policy to save money in taxes, usually in the form of Social Security and Medicare taxes, and it can actually accumulate to thousands of dollars in taxes. So you would want to understand what I'm talking about here when I say, an insurance policy related to your LLC. So if you stick around, by the end of the video, you'll understand why, if you're a small business owner, you might want to purchase this sort of LLC insurance I'm talking about, when to purchase the insurance, and one thing you don't have to worry about too much is the cost, as it's usually pretty cheap in relationship to how much it can actually save you. So before we get into that though, let me just quickly introduce myself. If it's your first time watching, my name is Navi Miraj, and I'm a CPA that teaches entrepreneurs how to save thousands of dollars in taxes. I do that here on social media, but I also teach it in an even more comprehensive and easy to understand way through my course. You can find those details on my website, which is navimirajcpa.com. But for now, if you get value out of this video, consider subscribing to the channel or perhaps liking it and sharing it with a fellow entrepreneur. So with that out of the way, let me just transition to my computer here. I've created this for you and I want to show this to you. So let me explain what we're looking at here for a moment. So across the top, we basically have a calendar year, right? We have January through December. And what I'm trying to say here is, let's say when you first start your business, you just go out there, maybe you've written up a small business plan, and you're just trying to sell your product or service, right? Well, in the first couple of months, you might not earn any money, right, in revenue. You might not make a sale, but you'll have some expenses. And then as you get better, as you learn more about your business, word gets around, maybe you do advertising and marketing and what have you, your revenue will, increase and then maybe cap out if you're a service-based industry and you're the one providing the service. You only have so much time in one day. And so, let's say it caps out, all right? Well, what I'm saying here is basically at the end of the year, if this is what your revenue and expenses look like, you have 86,000 in revenue, 12,000 in expenses, and you end up with $74,000 in profit, this is what your year might look like, okay? So that's sort of the calendar at the top here and how much profit that you earn throughout the year. Well, let me explain what your situation might look like. So I'm going to call yourself here Johnny Subscriber. So Johnny Subscriber is sort of going to purchase this LLC insurance, meaning they're going to form an LLC at the beginning of the year, the beginning of when they started to do business, okay? And so nothing changes here, right? I mean, they still have the same losses that they had in January and February. March was break even. They had all the other profit, right? So they still land at $74,000 in profits, but the difference is by purchasing that LLC insurance, it gives them the option to sort of engage that insurance and allows them to have this LLC taxed as an S corporation if it makes sense, if it makes financial sense for them. So just, this video is not about when does an S corp make financial sense? I have other videos on that. But what I'm trying to say here is, like, if you form your LLC on January 1st, you can actually wait until December of the year or even into the next year and do what's called a late S corp election, as long as you purchase that LLC insurance, and meaning you form that LLC on day one of your business or when you got started, okay? In this example, this taxpayer might save anywhere from $4,000 to $4,500 in taxes based on these numbers. Now, let me show you what would happen if you didn't do this. If you don't buy this insurance plan, you might be more like this person here. I was trying to be funny here. I said Johnny Subscriber because, you're watching this video, you're learning, you're understanding. Maybe you're in the course, so you understand this concept. But if you're unsubscribed or you're not in the course and you're not aware of these things, well, your year might look like this, where you start your business, you lose a couple grand, that's fine. You have a break-even month, you start making money, and then you're like, okay, this is working. You get kind of busy. You look back at the calendar, you're like, oh crap, it's October. Let me form my entity because I know I need to do that. You form it on, let's say, October 1st. Well, what you do is you sort of waited until October to do this, right? And so now, instead of $74,000 that can be treated as an S corporation for tax purposes. Now, because you formed your entity in October, you really only have this amount of money, the $30,000 that can be taxed as an S corporation. And if you've watched my videos or you understand how an S corporation works, again, if you haven't, you can watch other videos on my channel about that. You'll realize that, well, if you've made only $30,000 in profit, an S corporation is not going to make sense, right? It's going to actually probably cost you more than it is going to save you in taxes in the form of tax preparation fees and payroll services and things like this. So don't be like, Johnny unsubscribed here. Be more like Johnny the subscriber who understands these concepts and purchases that insurance when they start their business, right? So it's kind of like, think of it as car insurance. Johnny subscriber, started his business, purchased his car on 1/1 and bought insurance on that day. However, Johnny unsubscriber got his insurance after he purchased the car, and even more so, or worse off, is he purchased the insurance after he got into the car accident. It doesn't work that way. The car accident in this scenario is you earning the profit. If you started earning this profit early on, you want to have the LLC so that you can elect to have that LLC taxed as an S corporation. If you're watching and you don't really understand that concept, you cannot elect to have your business taxed as an S corporation unless you've either first formed an LLC or a corporation to begin with. Okay, you can't be a sole proprietor. If your name is actually Johnny Subscriber, you can't be doing business as Johnny Subscriber and then elect to be taxed as an S corp. You need that LLC or corporation formed first. So as I said, how much could this potentially save you? Well, with using these numbers, the tax savings could be around $4,500. Now, if your profit was much higher than this, let's say it's double, it's 150 grand. Well, now, this thing might be able to save you, $7,000, $8,000 in Social Security and Medicare taxes. So when should you purchase this insurance policy? As you've kind of figured out the answer to that, as soon as you start making money, because you just never know. You purchase the car insurance when you buy the car, not 6 months after you purchase the car or after you've gotten into the car accident. Now, another question you might have is like, okay, well, when do I purchase this sort of LLC insurance policy, if you will, right? So there is such a good thing or such a thing as good insurance versus bad insurance. And you've got some options there. But let me talk about what I've got listed here below. Good insurance and habits would be, having articles of organization, right? Which all of you might have if you form an LLC. But if you do it through an actual sort of attorney or tax and legal firm, then they might set you up with an operating agreement. They might tell you how to record meeting minutes. They might have a service where they file your annual reports for you so you never sort of lapse on your annual reports or lapse on your insurance policy coverage. Using your LLC name in all of your documents, all of your advertising, those are some good insurance and habits to have. Bad insurance might be all you did is you went to the website yourself, you formed an entity on your own, and you got 1 or 2 single sheets of paper called your articles of organization. Now, I'm not a legal representative. I'm certainly not your legal representative. I'm not an attorney is what I'm saying here. So, do your due diligence, but an article of organization alone is not going to really save you if you're in a lawsuit. You're going to want to have these other things and be doing these other good habits. Not filing an annual report causing your LLC to be what's called administratively dissolved. If you forget to file your annual report and you wait too long of a period of time, the state might actually dissolve your LLC. And then another thing I have as a bad habit is commingling business funds with a personal account and vice versa. You really don't want to be doing those things. So anyway, back to where to purchase this insurance. I'm going to just quickly transition to my website because you've got some options and I want to show them to you here. So on my website, you can read more about the course. If you click on this page, there'll be a video where you can kind of watch and see the contents of the course. But also further down, I've got some resources here that you can browse these websites and they will help you form your entity for free. Now, I call this the DIY option, right? However, if you don't know what you're doing, meaning you don't know what to click on yourself and what options you need and what to call your entity and what state to form your entity in and needing that, the operating agreement, then this can easily turn in from a DIY option, do it yourself, to a DIY option. If you've never heard that joke before, DIY stands for do it yourself. DIY stands for do yourself in. Okay, so I highly recommend using a legal professional. And if you like, you can actually shoot me an email. If you scroll down here, you can see my email address. Shoot me an email, and I can maybe link you up with an actual attorney who can sit down with you via Zoom, draft the proper documents with you, answer your tax questions, help you with tax strategy, and help you sort of have the sort of good insurance that I was showing you before. All right, so that's really the concept of today. Is I wanted to walk you through what LLC insurance is, and that really it's giving you the option to be taxed as an S corporation. So thanks so much for watching. I hope I got, any questions you have answered by watching this video. I do want to make you aware that this is just one small piece of the larger big picture of understanding and saving thousands of dollars in taxes. So if you got value out of this and you would like the way I presented this material, I would encourage you to visit my website. Again, that's navimuradcpa.com, and consider enrolling in my course. I've helped many new and existing small business owners save thousands of dollars in taxes. The course feedback has been great. It's designed to take you from knowing nothing about this kind of stuff and implementing powerful tax strategies on your very own. Only you won't be alone because I'm there helping you each step of the way. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I put the link into the course, in the description below. But before I wrap up, be sure to leave me a note in the comment section letting me know what you learned. Was this video helpful? What can I do better? Did I lose you while going over some of this? I want to know so I can create better content for you, right? So don't forget, maybe like, subscribe, share with a fellow entrepreneur, and I'll see you either in the course or in the next video.